Hey, this is Arthur again. I'm going to go back to the topic I was talking about earlier. Mm, it's not a racial comment, so I don't want people to take it as a racial comment. But what I'm trying to say is back in my day, the sheet rockers was African Americans. The framers was African Americans. The bricklayers was African Americans. Now somehow we're pushed to the sideline, to the side, and then they're wondering why is crime the way it is? Because back in the day, I don't know if people, upper class or, you know, not being rude, but whites probably don't understand what's called was the OGs. That's what people looked up to, the young generation. Me, myself, and I'm 51 years old, so we looked up to them people. But they was working and doing the right thing. But then they were pushed to a point where they had to feed their families. And what was out there? To feed the family, a quick way to make money. And they was forced to do it. Like I said in one of the interviews, 2012, I met one of the guys I called OG and talking to him, it was like, man, you was like a kingpin, what I mean? What happened? And he looked at me. It was like I was on a call with 3 bundles. And I just looked down, 3 bundles. What are you talking about? You got 40 years for 3 bundles? It was like, yeah. But the other charges they put on manufacturing and all that. But he tried to say he was a user. And he said, when people say that user, it helps. But, and this guy's never been in trouble before. I think this was like his second time. Once was I can't. I don't want to lie. I can't think of the other one, but it had nothing to do with drugs or nothing like that. But I was shocked. I had a little tear in my eye, and he told me you better wipe that tear out of your eye, and I wiped it. But I mean, these are people that I looked up to, and when he said that, I guess I about fell off the steps. But it's not a racial topic. It's not none of that. So I don't want people to take it as that. I'm just saying sanctuary cities, wherever they call it. And all my life I lived in Baltimore City, Democrats. You know what I mean? But what have they done? All they did was steal. Now look at the red Republicans. That's why, I turn to Republican because look what they do. Look at what Republican state. There's jobs and there's everything. There's opportunities. And not being rude enough, I don't know what the prosecutor did, the state prosecutor did, but I think she's being figured out or pointed out with, a lot of the people that get into politics. That's what they do. They put their hands into the cookie jar. But I guess she's being figured out. Look what happened to Ed Norris. It was a fun, they railroaded him, in my opinion, because it was a fun for the police to go into and use. But I mean, they went after him and made him out of something that he wasn't. So, I don't know too much about the cases, but I can only tell you what I hear on news. And I think her and her husband are just being figured out for it's been going on for generations, and that's the politics of it. When they get into politics, they get the benefit of the deals. It comes in. Some of them get caught, some of them don't get caught. So, that's the way it is. It's the way it's been for decades. I mean, come on now. But, I like to talk about anything. That's why I'm hoping, but my passion is about hospitals labeling people as an addicts and not giving them the proper care that they need. That is my passion. But I like to talk about different topics. That's why I really wanted to start this, not, you know, this YouTube thing. Because, you know, I'm 51, I've been raised in inner city all my life, you know, Claremont, you know, being on any other way family was there. I can remember going across the street, being escorted back across the street by police, me and my black friends, African American friends, being escorted back across the street. Didn't understand why, but it was fascinating to me to go there and see a swimming pool in the backyard, and I'm swimming out of a creek, and everything was fascinating to me. And I think in my heart, mind, when I think about it, that's where I learned. I got the thrill of taking, arriving things. You know, the bike's sitting out, like, you know, like who does that? I was saying in my head, bikes laying everywhere. So I was like, you start taking it stuff. I even tried to take the school bus. I mean, not to be talking about crime on here, but you know, I'm talking about when I was a kid. But I mean, that's the way I grew up, and that's what I've seen. And you know, even though I was punished for it, you know, by the police and all that, and my parents. So it ain't like you can come back and say, "Hey, you did this when you was 8 years old or whatever." But it's, you know, just, you know, I was gonna say different way of living. You know, even a lot of the mayors and them saying they lived in the city, they lived in here. I don't know where part of it they lived at or what part of it they seen, but I guess they don't understand what's going on. I mean, you know, they don't understand why black on black crime. It's a shame, but you know they don't care because it's taking a problem away. They don't have to deal with it because they're killing themselves. And it's a shame. Just like school, you know, our kid had to go from one side of the town to another side of the other town just to go to school. And you wonder why these little girls, African American girls, are being raped or or sexual assaulted, or the boys are being bullied and picked on and beat up because they're going into other territories. They're going from one side of town to another side of town. And you know, I've gone out for walks at 5:30 in the morning and seen kids going to school and catching buses and like, I mean, come on, man. You know, I ask why you up so early? Well, I gotta go all the way over here just to go to school. I'm like, huh? I mean, come on, man. Where's the money at? Where's the money for the education at? I mean, something's not right here, you know? And these kids are just gotta watch out and protect themselves for being sexually assaulted or beat up just to go to school. It's a shame the way that, you know, it's going on now. And I get worked up when I get to talking about this kind of stuff because I got nieces and nephews get ready to hit that grade, and God forbid if they have, uh, you know, it doesn't make sense, man. And you know, all these taxpayers and all this that they put all this money into school, and they close down schools, and some schools don't even have heat.
In my couch.
Huh?
You can't sit there all day. You'll put a dent in my couch.
No, I just got here. I'm not gonna sit here all day and put a dent. That's somebody gonna say I'm gonna put a dent in their chair. I'm gonna sit in there all day. I'm not gonna put a dent in their chair. But it's a shame the way it goes on. I mean, something has to give. So you know, God forget, like I said, you know, it's something with, I don't know. It's you know, all this money they give to school and stuff like that, and this is going on. You know, millions of dollars and this stuff is going on. And like I said, it's not being racial. It's not being nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's doesn't make sense. But like I said, if anybody wants to give some feedback or a text, you got my text and all that. Give me a text and let me know what you think, and let me hear something back from you. Yeah, I'd really like to hear something back, feedback on this. Thank you. Thank you for your time.